Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here at Solana, seeing what's going on here. We'll discuss, potential for upside, potential for downside, kind of highlight a few things from our earlier video today, because we are expecting the price to pull back. At least that was a consensus earlier. Still looks like Elliott Wave wants to fulfill its ABC pattern, but it's still a little premature as well. Okay, so it's best to presume we're going to continue lower. And if it doesn't, then it's okay, right? That's kind of how it goes. I like to expect the worst, hope for the best, but we'll go ahead and take a look and see what the backend data is telling us, because this sometimes drives the price action in different directions. Okay, so this hasn't changed too much. Just kind of jump right in here. We can see heavy concentration at about $70.20. So 70-20, 70-30, really strong amount of heavy long liquidation levels. Okay, really just implies the price goes down that level. We're going to see some pretty unfortunate longs getting closed out, but once again, the price action is getting closer to the $78 than it is to the $70 mark, so it could very well spike up again. Okay, again, Solana is a very strong coin. We don't want to try to bet against it. Even if the price is going to pull back to that level, I still don't recommend shorting. Okay, it's just kind of the bottom line. But what we can do is hopefully look for a better entry, maybe a dollar cost average target. That said, though, $78 to $80 is the upper range of liquidation for shorts. Okay. Quickly to note too, I want to say thank you to my community members here. Glad the Avalanche trade worked really well. Looks like Red Coke was able to get some healthy profits there, about 7K. We did take, 111% in 3 days for Avalanche. That's really awesome. We do have a lot of other previous trades as well. I don't need to bore you with that. You've probably seen them already anyways, but just want to let you know the premium group's been killing it recently. Thanks again for the wonderful feedback. Super happy it's working well for you. So with Solana, now we kind of understand that those liquidation levels, the backend data. Let's go ahead and jump on the daily time frame and just kind of work our way down. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and touch on some of the obvious here. We're still ascending positively, really not a lot of negative here in the sense of the moving averages. Our volume profile here, right about $58, is still going to be that strong support level if the price ever comes back to that level. So just bear in mind 58 is pretty strong, solid support. Based on volume, MACD is still converging, kind of plateauing here a little bit, so there potential shift in momentum there, but that's still a ways off. Again, the daily time frame is just good to get perspective on the overall sense of things. You do not want to make a decision right now being like, oh, I'm going long because the daily is looking good. It takes, the hourly translates to the 4 hour, 4 hour translates to the 12 hour if you use that. And then it continues to work its way up, right? So that's why we work our way down, so we know big picture and then little picture, maybe even some medium pictures. Okay, so stochastic RSI is swinging down a second time. This is something I kind of talk about in most cases. It really runs concurrent with Elliott Wave. Like, look at this. 2 higher highs, here's our highest high potentially, and 2 higher lows. Okay, again, Elliott Wave is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So with us hitting the top here, stochastic RSI is kind of telling us we want to shift momentum down. Again, this is a second swing to the downside, so it carries a little bit more weight. Okay. Again, just something to kind of think about. It does not mean the price is going to drop, but I do expect the price to, maybe hesitate before it legs up again. Truth be told, it's looking like it does want to leg up, honestly, with this type of continuation here to consistently close at $75 on the daily. That's been 4 days in a row where it's been closed at $75 and hasn't closed above that level yet. So that basically implies 75 is a pretty strong resistance. Again, 78, 76, anything in that range is going to work the price action against it, if you will. That said, though, looking at the 4 hour time frame, we do got a positive contributing factor here. Stochastic RSI is swinging up, but it does kind of look like it wants to swing down, right? So if we do see a lower low and a lower high, then we'll see that continue to progress downwards. RSI has more room for downtrend. Money flow index is coming down too. That's one of the bigger red flags that we can see here, because money is flowing out of the coin. And as money comes down and the price goes sideways or up, it gives less validity to that. It's less strength, if you will, in this increase here. Another reason why this might be a lower high than this, and the price might continue to try to find its C pattern. In other words, ABC patterns, where the price action comes back down. We get A, B, C, a lower low, lower high, and a lower low again. Okay, so there's potential. We were bouncing off this level here at about 75, coming back down to somewhere in the 60 to upper, low 60 to upper 60 range. Okay, we'll talk about potential of what those areas might look like. Just to kind of quickly actually note on that, in case you're familiar. or unfamiliar with the channel, I like to cover this a lot. 0.382 is a really common retracement level, so if the price does come back down, hypothetically that could be a bouncing point. That was a previous high and a candlestick close. I have this this line drawn on the chart here for a reason, because it was a significant level at one point, so that could work as a potential bouncing point at $68. If the price continues lower, we'll see 0.5 or 0.618 as next potential areas here. This guy and this guy, okay? So that's kind of where we're at there in the overall sense. We could very well see the price bounce, or it comes down, continues to work its way down for some lower highs. I would welcome that because we get a better entry, and we'd have a descending channel there with a nice little bullish breakout. That's a bull flag pattern. We're hoping to see that eventually. Again, we're a long ways off from that. That's just strictly hypothetical, but if we keep seeing lower lows and lower highs after an uptrend like this, we could very well see a breakout. All right, so we're above the moving averages. That's fantastic news. If we take a look at, again, we've kind of already clarified, but MACD, RSI, these are all still fairly bearish, okay? So the general sense here is a 4-hour time frame is mostly bearish. Until we can establish a higher high above $77, I'm not convinced that we're going to be able to break this descending trend, okay? That's just generally where we're at. Hourly, let's go ahead and wrap this up here and take a look at the Ichimoku cloud. So this is interesting, but also is better than not. Okay, let's take a look at this here. So lagging span is technically free and clear of the price action. I would like to see it higher, but it's there, right? It's relevant. The upper lead here is also looking good, where the price action is trying to break above. Hasn't officially yet, though. You got to keep that in mind. Furthermore, conversion lines above the baseline, so that's a positive factor there. So we've literally got 2 out of 3 potential indications for a long position that it may be viable at this point. However, with us just kind of peaking above the cloud and tentatively being red at this point, there is a chance that the price action could continue lower from here too, okay? I'm still leaning a little bit more towards the price action pulling back. I really want us to go up, but I'm just being real with you here. Everything we see here so far does point down a little more than it does up. Again, this is enough indecision for me to not want to take a trade, okay? Just because you have a little bit of a breakthrough above the cloud on the hourly doesn't imply or turn all the other stuff we looked at off, right? We look at the daily, kind of 50-50. We look to the 4-hour, a little more bearish than bullish. We look at the hourly, kind of conflicting as well. That's a no trade to me, personally. Again, that's just me. If you were to flip a coin, there's a decent chance we could see this upper level retested, but I personally think we're going to see the price pull back down lower for a lower low and maybe another lower high. Okay, that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Comment below, love to hear it. If you find benefit, of course, like, subscribe, follow. Keep in mind, too, we do have Twitter, Telegram, and Discord where you can kind of see my playout charts where I provide those as well. Furthermore, you need to check this out. Phenomenal exchange, extremely good benefits. You use my link to register. No KYC or VPN. We're partnered with them mainly because other exchanges are requiring VPNs right now, and that just means they're going to require KYC shortly after. Okay, BingX is one of those. It's one of our affiliates. Still love them, of course, but unfortunately, we got to make a transition and ensure that we can secure our opportunities to trade, right? So this is a great opportunity there. Link down below, of course, to register, but there's also an instructional video if you're curious on how to utilize the exchange kind of on a basic level. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.